3 mencintaimu, 4 membencimu. Dia masuk ke kamarnya, dan dari ruang televisi kita bisa melihat di sebelah rak bukunya yang kini kosong, tergantung salib tanpa Yesus. Bisakah kau yakin setelah hari itu dia hambur-hamburkan uangnya untuk sebuah salib baru? Barangkali dia cuma mencopot paksa lelaki hampir telanjang bulat itu dari si salib. Kalau betul begitu, bisa aku bayangkan dia mencampakkan lelaki itu ke bawah tempat tidurnya. Kau sendiri tahu betapa dia tak pernah rela membuang barang-barangnya, meski sudah bekas dan lapuk. Dan kalau dia mau jujur, dia tentu akan mengaku bahwa sedikit banyak dia pun ingin membalas dendam kepada lelaki itu. Ingat, bagaimanapun juga, dia adalah seorang manusia modern berpendidikan. Dia membaca buku dari penulis-penulis dengan nama dibanjiri diakritik, dan dia sudah bisa berdebat dengan ibu bapaknya. Dia menulis puisi-puisi yang menuntut kesetaraan. Baru-baru ini dia bahkan memberanikan diri bekerja sebagai seorang penulis. Malam harinya dia menerjemah dengan tarif sangat murah. Dia menangis ketika menaiki bus malam dan di kamar mereka saat pacarnya berkunjung ke rumah kerabat. Dia tak mampu membayar jasa dokter gigi. Namun, siapa yang mampu membayar jasa dokter gigi? Dia mencelupkan kapas ke minyak goreng dan membakar kapas itu, dan sucilah gigi-giginya, kuduslah gigi-giginya. Sementara itu, tengok ke kolong. Si lelaki hampir telanjang itu hidup dari waktu ke waktu bermodalkan remah biskuit dan serpihan coklat batang murahan dari minimarket. Saat malam dan si empunya kamar menyalakan AC, lelaki telanjang itu bisa jadi kedinginan. Lantai menjelma hamparan es pada dunia tundra, dan perlahan-lahan lelaki itu bertanya putus asa. Mengapa ia tidak dipersiapkan dengan mantel bulu, atau paling tidak selimut tebal kalau ia memang harus ada di situ hampir telanjang. Pada siang hari, ketika si pendebat ibu bapak itu menghilang seharian, lelaki itu tentu kepanasan dan merasa pengap. Bukan karena ventilasi di kamar itu buruk, melainkan karena memang tak ada ventilasi. Ingat, manusia modern tinggal di rumah modern. Pada malam-malam ketika si penerjemah bertarif murah pergi camping atau menginap di rumah orang tuanya, lelaki itu barangkali akan terbaring meratap. Ia bertanya-tanya, mengapa tak ada salib lain di kamar itu, agar ada laki-laki lain yang juga dicopot paksa untuk menemaninya. Di kepalanya kini ia membariskan sebuah taman. Di kepalanya kini ia menggambar dirinya sendiri. Di kepalanya kini ia sebuah bayangan bergerak menghunjamkan tangan ke dalamnya, meremas tulang rusuknya, dan menyusunkan seorang yang identik dengan dirinya. Dan karena identik, tahu segala hal yang diperlukan untuk memahami dirinya. Betapa dulu ia tak sadar bahwa ia terbuat dari batu kapur, bukan daging darah merah tulang belulang putih, menjemukan dapat dicuri dan didaur ulang.
3 love you, 4 despise you. He goes into his rented room, and from where we are in front of the TV, we can see that next to his now empty bookcase hangs a Jesusless crucifix. Do you really think that he's going to blow his money on buying a new one anytime soon? He probably chipped the near naked man off the cross himself. And if that was what happened, I imagine he tossed the man under his bed. You know how much he hates throwing things away, even if they're old and moldy. If he were honest, he'd be sure to admit that he kind of wanted to take revenge and get back at the man. Keep in mind, in spite of everything, that he is a modern, educated human being. He reads books by writers whose names are flooded with diacritical marks, and he is capable of talking back to his parents. He writes poems demanding equality. In recent times, he even summoned up the courage to work as a full-time writer. He spends his nights translating at an extremely cheap rate. He cries when he's riding the night bus and in his room when his boyfriend is away visiting relatives. He can't afford a dentist, but then again, who can? Instead, he dips a cotton ball in cooking oil and sets the cotton ball on fire. And lo, be purified, O teeth, be holy, O teeth, be healed. Meanwhile, peek under the bed, where the near-naked man ekes by day after day on the strength of biscuit crumbs and flakes of cheap chocolate from the mini-market. When it's night and the room's master turns on the AC, the naked man gets cold. The white floor transforms into a sheet of ice in a tundra wasteland, and softly the man cries out in despair, asking why he hasn't been equipped with a fur coat or at least a thick blanket, if he really does have to be there practically naked. During the day when the debater with parents has gone out, the room, of course, gets stiflingly hot. Not because the ventilation is bad, but rather because there is none. Modern human beings like him must live in modern dwellings, even if it comes at a cost. On nights when the cheap-rate translator goes camping or stays over at his parents', the man probably lies there and weeps. He wonders why there isn't another crucifix in the room, so another crossless man can keep him company. Now in his mind, he designs a garden. Now in his mind, he draws himself. Now in his mind, he is a figure moving, plunging his hand inside himself, kneading one of his ribs and molding someone identical to himself, and because identical to himself, someone who knows how to truly understand him. How stupid of him not to realize that he's made of limestone, not tiresome red flesh and blood and pale skin and bone, liable to be stolen or recycled.